Have you ever wondered what really happens behind the doors of nursing homes? Many people think of them as safe places where elderly parents receive attentive care, have friends to talk to, and spend their final years in peace. But is that always the case? Behind the polished exterior of these care facilities, there are hidden downsides that not everyone is aware of. So, what are these downsides? Join me as we uncover the truth behind those walls. The first downside: loss of independence. Independence is something we often take for granted, until it is gone. For many elderly individuals, the decision to move into a nursing home may seem practical, offering safety, medical care, and companionship. However, what is often left unsaid is the profound loss of personal independence that comes with this transition. The ability to make choices about daily life, when to wake up, what to eat, when to go outside, gradually disappears, replaced by rigid schedules and institutional routines. Before the move, life was filled with small but meaningful choices. They could wake up whenever they wanted, make their morning coffee, and sit by the window to watch the sunrise. They had the freedom to decide their lunch, perhaps a warm home-cooked meal or just some fresh fruit. If they wanted to go for a walk, they could put on their shoes and step outside without waiting for permission. These small acts of independence, often unnoticed in youth, are sources of joy and dignity. However, everything changes upon entering a nursing home. Breakfast is served at a fixed time, whether they are hungry or not. Lights go out at a designated hour, even if they are not ready to sleep. Even a simple task like going outside requires permission and waiting for an available staff member. Personal routines are replaced by a system designed for efficiency rather than individual comfort. Over time, they feel like they no longer control their own time. The loss of autonomy is not just about rules and schedules, it is about identity. The ability to decide how to spend each day is essential to feeling like a whole person. When that power is taken away, a deep sense of helplessness can set in. At first, they try to resist, request small changes, and hold on to their habits. But soon, they find themselves adapting, not because they want to, but because they have no other choice. They stop questioning routines, stop asking for alternatives, and gradually, they start to feel like passive participants in their own lives. One of the hardest realizations is that once independence is lost, it is nearly impossible to regain. Unlike a temporary stay where one can leave at will, living in a nursing home means adjusting to a system that rarely bends to individual needs. Many residents have wished they had thought more carefully before making this move. For those considering a nursing home, this story serves as a reminder: convenience often comes with an invisible cost, and the right to live life on your own terms is worth fighting for as long as possible. The second downside: poor living conditions and medical care. Nursing homes are established to provide a safe and comfortable environment for elderly individuals who need assistance with daily activities and medical care. However, the unfortunate reality is that not all nursing homes ensure good living conditions and attentive care. Many facilities struggle with serious issues related to their environment and service quality. These problems not only affect the residents' quality of life but also contribute to physical and mental decline. One of the most urgent concerns in nursing homes is the lack of proper living conditions. Many facilities are overcrowded, with too many residents crammed into small, shared rooms, leaving them with little privacy or personal space. The rooms are cramped, beds are outdated, and electrical and plumbing systems are unstable. Essential medical equipment, such as wheelchairs, walkers, and hospital beds, may be lacking, making it difficult for residents to move safely or receive necessary care. Emergency response systems may be outdated or inadequate, leading to delays in critical situations. Poor ventilation, inadequate heating and cooling, and unclean environments further add to the discomfort of elderly residents. In some cases, rooms are not cleaned regularly, and basic hygiene is neglected, resulting in unpleasant odors, unwashed bedding, and an increased risk of infection. The lack of proper sanitation and maintenance not only creates an uncomfortable living environment but also poses serious health risks to residents who are already vulnerable due to age-related conditions. Beyond the poor physical conditions, the quality of food in many nursing homes is often substandard. Many facilities operate on tight budgets, meaning meals often lack nutritional value, with insufficient fresh fruits, vegetables, and protein-rich options. An unbalanced diet can lead to malnutrition, weakness, and increased susceptibility to illness among residents. Furthermore, the food is often mass-produced, lacking variety and flavor, making mealtime an unappealing experience for those who rely on the facility for daily sustenance. For residents with specific dietary needs, such as those with diabetes or heart disease, the lack of specialized meal options can be particularly harmful. In addition to poor living conditions, medical care in many nursing homes is often inadequate, with residents not receiving the level of attention and treatment they require. One of the most critical issues is the shortage of trained medical staff, including doctors, nurses, and caregivers. Many nursing homes are understaffed, meaning caregivers must attend to too many residents at once, resulting in rushed or neglected care. This leads to delayed medical attention, missed medications, and a general lack of monitoring for those with chronic illnesses or complex health needs. Without enough staff, it becomes difficult to ensure that residents receive timely assistance with mobility, personal hygiene, and other essential activities, which can lead to further health deterioration. Medication management is another major issue in nursing homes. Due to the high patient-to-staff ratio, medication schedules are often not followed correctly, leading to missed doses or improper administration. In some cases, residents receive the wrong medication, causing severe health complications. For those with conditions such as dementia or heart disease, inconsistent medication management can have life-threatening consequences. Additionally, routine health checkups and treatments are sometimes overlooked due to staff shortages, meaning emerging health issues may go unnoticed until they become severe. The combination of poor living conditions and inadequate medical care creates a distressing environment for nursing home residents. Many elderly individuals enter these facilities hoping to receive the care and support they need, only to find themselves struggling with unsanitary living spaces, poor nutrition, and insufficient medical attention. The third dark side: abuse, violence, and more. Many nursing home residents suffer direct physical abuse. Overworked or poorly trained staff may resort to hitting, slapping, or roughly handling patients out of anger. Some elderly individuals report being tightly restrained, tied to their beds, or locked in rooms for hours as a form of punishment or control. Others are subjected to excessive sedation, with medication being administered not for medical needs but to make them easier to manage. This practice, often referred to as chemical restraint, leaves residents in a near-vegetative state, stripping them of their ability to communicate or defend themselves. The result is an utterly dehumanizing experience where individuals are treated as mere objects, neglected, and mistreated by those who are supposed to protect them. Emotional and psychological abuse is another widespread issue in many nursing homes. Insulting words, humiliation, and verbal threats from caregivers create an environment of fear and helplessness. Residents may be mocked for their disabilities, yelled at for moving too slowly, or deliberately ignored when they call for help. Some staff even withhold food, medication, or assistance with using the restroom as a form of punishment. Isolation is another tactic used to break residents' spirits. Those who complain or request too much help may be left alone for hours or even days. The psychological impact of such treatment is devastating. Many elderly individuals, already struggling with the emotional burden of leaving their homes and losing their independence, sink further into despair when faced with daily cruelty from those responsible for their well-being. Sexual abuse in nursing homes is another horrifying reality that often goes unreported. Elderly residents, especially those suffering from dementia or cognitive decline, are at high risk of being victimized by both staff members and even other residents. Due to their frail health and limited ability to speak out, many are unable to defend themselves or report what has happened to them. Perpetrators often exploit this vulnerability, knowing their crimes are unlikely to be discovered. The idea that an aging parent or grandparent could be subjected to such violations is heartbreaking, but countless cases have shown that this form of abuse is more prevalent than society is willing to admit. Financial exploitation is another rampant form of abuse in nursing homes. Many elderly individuals have savings, pensions, or valuable assets that unethical caregivers seek to exploit. Some residents are manipulated into signing checks, altering wills, or handing over financial control to staff members. Others have personal belongings stolen, from jewelry and cash to credit cards and bank account information. In extreme cases, entire life savings are drained without the residents' knowledge. Because many elderly individuals struggle with memory issues or cognitive decline, they often do not realize they are being exploited until it is too late. This financial abuse not only robs them of their hard-earned money but also leaves them more vulnerable, unable to afford better care or legal protection. The fourth dark side, loneliness and the feeling of abandonment. Loneliness is one of the most painful realities of life in a nursing home, and for many elderly individuals, it becomes an overwhelming burden, far worse than any physical illness. When seniors move into nursing homes, they often expect frequent visits from family and friends, believing that their loved ones will remain an important part of their daily lives. However, over time, visits become less frequent, phone calls replace face-to-face conversations, and the once strong connection to the outside world begins to fade. What starts as an adjustment phase gradually turns into a life of isolation, where the walls of the facility become both a physical and emotional barrier between the elderly and the world they once knew. For many residents, the hardest realization is not just that they are lonely, but that they have been forgotten. One of the biggest misconceptions about nursing homes is that they are full of friendships and social opportunities. While staff members do their best to provide care, their responsibilities are often too overwhelming to allow for genuine human connection. Many residents sit for hours in common areas, staring at the door, hoping for a visitor who never comes. The initial excitement of seeing family members fades over the years, replaced by the harsh reality that life outside the nursing home continues without them. Adult children become busy with work, grandchildren grow up and focus on their studies, and soon, visiting the nursing home turns into an obligation rather than a priority. While family members may not intentionally neglect their loved ones, the reality is that the lack of regular visits makes residents feel as if they are no longer valued. The consequences of this abandonment go beyond mere sadness. Studies have shown that loneliness in the elderly can lead to severe declines in both physical and mental health. Depression, anxiety, and even cognitive deterioration become more common as seniors lose their sense of purpose and connection. Without regular social interaction, their minds become less sharp, their energy fades, and they withdraw even further. In some cases, they even stop communicating altogether, believing that they are a burden to their loved ones. The thought of picking up the phone to call their son or daughter becomes a mental battle. Should they remind their family that they still exist, or remain silent and avoid the pain of rejection? This emotional struggle drains them, making their days feel longer and emptier. Beyond the psychological toll, loneliness can also have devastating physical effects. Elderly individuals who feel abandoned often lose interest in eating, sleeping, or even basic self-care. They stop participating in activities, preferring to stay in their rooms rather than risk feeling even more isolated in a group setting. Their immune systems weaken, making them more susceptible to illness. Even those who were once active and engaged can quickly decline when faced with the silent agony of loneliness. One of the most heartbreaking aspects of abandonment in nursing homes is that many elderly residents live with the painful awareness that they are merely waiting for a visit, waiting for a phone call, waiting for something that may never come. The fifth downside, declining health. Declining health due to a lack of physical activity in nursing homes is an important issue that is often overlooked. Many elderly individuals enter nursing homes while still capable of performing daily activities, but transitioning to a sedentary lifestyle in these facilities quickly leads to physical and cognitive decline. Regular movement and exercise are essential for maintaining muscle strength, cardiovascular health, and overall well-being. However, nursing home residents often face limitations in physical activity opportunities due to understaffing, restricted schedules, and institutional environments that prioritize convenience over mobility. As a result, many elderly individuals become increasingly dependent on caregivers for even basic tasks, leading to a rapid deterioration of their physical abilities. One of the most serious consequences of a sedentary lifestyle is muscle atrophy. When nursing home residents are not encouraged or assisted in engaging in daily activities, their muscles weaken, making it difficult for them to stand, walk, or even maintain proper posture. Over time, this loss of strength increases the risk of falls, which can lead to severe injuries such as fractures and head trauma. Falls are one of the leading causes of hospitalization and premature death among the elderly, and lack of physical activity significantly contributes to this risk. Additionally, inactivity slows metabolism and reduces blood circulation, leading to complications such as blood clots, pressure ulcers, and slow-healing wounds. These conditions not only impact the residents' physical health but also diminish their overall quality of life. Beyond the physical effects, a lack of movement in nursing homes also accelerates cognitive decline. Physical activity has been proven to enhance brain function, improve memory, and reduce the risk of dementia. However, without regular exercise, residents may experience confusion, decreased alertness, and worsening symptoms of conditions like Alzheimer's disease. Not engaging in physical activity often leads to feelings of frustration, depression, and social isolation, exacerbating the negative effects of a sedentary lifestyle. Many residents who once led active and fulfilling lives find themselves confined to wheelchairs or bedridden, losing not only their independence but also their sense of purpose and self-esteem. The organizational structure of many nursing homes unintentionally discourages exercise. Rigid schedules, understaffed facilities, and safety concerns often result in residents being encouraged to remain inactive. Instead of being motivated to walk or participate in light physical activities, residents are often confined to common rooms, seated for prolonged periods, or restricted to their rooms with limited stimulation. Overburdened staff may not have the time to assist residents with exercise, leading to a decline in mobility and health. To address this issue, nursing homes must prioritize physical activity as a fundamental aspect of elderly care. Implementing structured exercise programs, encouraging daily movement, and training staff to integrate mobility exercises into routine care can significantly improve residents' health outcomes. Simple measures such as guided stretching sessions, chair yoga, walking groups, or even incorporating physical therapy into daily activities can help maintain muscle strength and prevent rapid decline. Family members can also play a crucial role by advocating for more exercise opportunities and encouraging their loved ones to stay active. Ultimately, the lack of movement in nursing homes has severe consequences for elderly residents, affecting their physical health, cognitive function, and emotional well-being. Without deliberate efforts to promote mobility, the elderly face rapid deterioration, reducing their independence and overall quality of life. Addressing this issue requires a shift in priorities within nursing home facilities, ensuring that physical activity becomes a standard part of daily care rather than an afterthought. By fostering an environment that encourages movement and mobility, nursing homes can help residents maintain their health, reduce health risks, and enjoy a higher quality of life in their later years. The sixth downside: difficulty leaving. Leaving a nursing home is far more challenging than many people anticipate. When elderly individuals first move into these facilities, they often believe they will stay temporarily, perhaps just to recover from an illness or to receive short-term assistance. However, the reality is that once settled in a nursing home, leaving becomes difficult due to a combination of physical, emotional, and logistical factors. One of the main reasons why leaving is so difficult is the physical decline that occurs in many residents after extended stays in nursing homes. Before moving in, elderly individuals may have been able to perform daily activities such as cooking, cleaning, and moving around independently. However, in a nursing home, many of these responsibilities are taken over by staff, leading to muscle weakness and reduced mobility over time. With limited opportunities for physical activity and a gradual loss of independence, many residents become more dependent on assistance than they were before moving in. This physical deterioration makes the idea of returning home daunting, as many fear they will no longer be able to manage on their own. Even those who initially entered the nursing home in relatively good health may find that after months or years of restricted movement, their ability to live independently has significantly diminished, making the transition home much harder than expected. Beyond physical challenges, the emotional impact of leaving a nursing home can be overwhelming. Many residents, even those who initially disliked their new living situation, find themselves adjusting to the facility's routine and environment over time. They build relationships with staff and fellow residents, and the predictability of daily schedules can provide a sense of security. For some, the fear of returning to an empty home or facing uncertain living conditions can be paralyzing. Additionally, many residents lose confidence in their ability to care for themselves. After spending months or years in an environment where they constantly receive support, the sudden responsibility of managing their own well-being can feel overwhelming. This fear and uncertainty may cause some residents to remain in nursing homes even when they express a desire to leave, as they struggle with emotional and psychological barriers to regaining their independence. Another significant factor complicating the decision to leave a nursing home is the practical changes that occur in a person's living situation while they are away. Many elderly individuals enter nursing homes assuming their homes will be waiting for them when they decide to leave. However, during their stay, family members may sell the home, repurpose the living space, or make financial and logistical decisions that make returning nearly impossible. Even if their home remains vacant, it may no longer be suitable for their needs. Nursing home residents often require modifications such as ramps, elevators, or accessible bathrooms to accommodate mobility challenges, and if these renovations are not made, their home may no longer be a viable option. Financial issues can also play a major role in preventing someone from leaving a nursing home. Many individuals exhaust their savings on long-term care costs, leaving them without the financial resources to afford in-home care or assistance if they were to return home. Without proper financial support, moving out of a nursing home may not be feasible, forcing residents to remain in the facility despite their wishes. For those who attempt to leave, the process can be hindered by administrative and institutional barriers. Nursing homes are designed to provide full-time care, and once a person is classified as a long-term care resident, reversing that status can be difficult. Some facilities may require extensive paperwork, medical evaluations, and legal procedures before allowing a resident to be discharged. Family members may also hesitate to support the transition if they believe their loved one is safer in the facility than at home. The combination of logistical, emotional, and physical factors makes it clear that leaving a nursing home is not as simple as many assume. For many residents, what was initially intended as a temporary stay turns into a long-term arrangement, not because they wish to remain, but because leaving is far more complicated than they ever imagined. As a result, individuals and their families should carefully consider all aspects of nursing home arrangements before deciding to move in, as leaving may not be as easy as they expect. The 6 downsides of nursing homes mentioned above are issues I wanted to share with you. What are your thoughts on this matter? Feel free to leave a comment below the post. This article highlights the hidden downsides of nursing homes that many people may not have considered. However, not all nursing homes are the same. If a facility meets high standards of care, provides a good living environment, respects personal freedom, and ensures mental well-being for the elderly, it can still be a suitable option. This article may serve as advice for those considering a nursing home or for children thinking about placing their parents in one. Be sure to research thoroughly before making a decision. Check whether the facility is truly good and trustworthy. Don't wait until it's too late to realize what your parents need most. If possible, spend time taking care of your parents, because one day, you too will grow old. If you found this article meaningful, please hit the subscribe, like, and share buttons. Your support motivates me to write more articles. Stay tuned for my next videos. Thank you, and I wish you all the best.